Welcome to Wealth Wisdom Daily, the place where we don't just talk about money, we rewire how you think about it. In this space, we don't chase hacks, quick wins, or empty motivational fluff. We focus on the deep mindset shifts that separate the rich from the rest, the invisible patterns that turn constant survival into lasting freedom. And today's topic is one of the most important truths you'll ever hear. Poor people focus on earning once. Rich people focus on earning forever. It sounds simple, but the consequences are massive. If you feel like you're starting from zero every month, if you work harder than ever yet never seem to get ahead, if every paycheck, every bonus, every deal still leaves you feeling stuck and tired, then you're not alone and you're not broken. You've just been taught to chase money the wrong way. Today, we'll expose the invisible trap that most people live in without even knowing it. A trap that makes you work your whole life only to feel like you're treading water. Because here's the truth. One mindset celebrates one-time wins. The other builds money that never stops flowing. One chases the next gig, the next client, the next check. The other builds systems that keep paying long after the work is done. This isn't about luck. It's not about privilege. It's about how you think and how that thinking becomes the engine of your financial reality. If you're ready to stop resetting and start rising, this is where the shift begins. The one-time income illusion. Let's talk about the most dangerous illusion in personal finance. It's the belief that earning money once is enough, that if you just get the job, land the deal, close the client, you'll be fine, that a paycheck means progress, that a bonus means security, that working harder automatically leads to wealth. But here's the truth most people don't want to admit. One-time income is a lie dressed as success. You work all month, you put in the hours, you stay late, you sacrifice sleep, and then the paycheck comes. You feel good for a moment, but before the satisfaction even settles, the bills arrive, the rent, the loan, the subscriptions, the gas, the groceries. Your money disappears almost instantly. And what's worse, now you have to do it all over again. You're back at zero, again. This is the cycle nobody questions, yet nearly everyone lives in. It's the treadmill of trading time for money. You run fast, you sweat, you give your energy, your life, but the ground never moves. It's all motion, no progress. Because when your income is tied to your time, your life becomes one long reset button. Every month is a brand new battle. You work, you get paid, you spend, you repeat. There's no accumulation, no compounding, no freedom, just survival. Most people don't even realize they're trapped. They call it a job. They call it hard work. They call it being responsible. But what they're really doing is chasing temporary oxygen while drowning in long-term exhaustion. Think about it. How many people do you know who've worked for 10, 20, even 30 years and are still worried about money? Still stressed every month? Still one emergency away from panic? That's not failure. That's the design. The system was never meant to set you free. It was meant to keep you running. Because as long as you depend on one-time income that only comes when you show up, then you'll never stop showing up. You'll never get to rest. You'll never get to rise. One-time income doesn't care how much effort you gave. It doesn't remember the late nights or the sacrifices. It disappears and it demands more. Every month, every year, for the rest of your life, unless you escape. And here's the worst part. The illusion is addictive because every paycheck brings temporary relief. It makes you feel productive. It makes you feel in control. It gives you just enough hope to keep going, but never enough to break free. That's how the trap works. It keeps you busy, not wealthy. It rewards you just enough to stop you from questioning it. But today you are questioning it. You're waking up to the truth. You're seeing the pattern for what it really is. A broken game, one that can never make you free. Because freedom doesn't come from money you have to constantly earn. Freedom comes from money that keeps coming in, even when you stop. And that is what we're going to learn how to build. But first, you must let go of the illusion. Stop celebrating the one-time wins that cost you your lifetime. Start thinking like the wealthy do, in streams, not puddles, in systems, not shifts, in forever, not just for now. Because one-time income isn't the goal. It's the trap you must outgrow if you ever want to stop surviving and start living. The freedom of perpetual income. Now imagine this. You do something once, and it pays you forever. You write a book, and every month, money shows up from people still reading it. You record a song, and years later, someone plays it, and you get paid. You build a business, and it runs while you sleep. You make one smart investment, and it sends you a quiet stream of income every single month without begging for your time. That is perpetual income. It's not a dream. It's not reserved for the lucky few. It's simply a different way of thinking and building than what most people are taught. Perpetual income is income that continues to flow long after the initial effort is over. It's the kind of money that remembers your work. It rewards you again and again. It doesn't disappear after one transaction. It becomes a living system, one that pays you for years, even decades. This is the secret the wealthy build their lives around. Not working harder, not trading more hours, but designing systems, assets, and strategies that pay them on repeat. While most people wake up wondering, how do I earn again today? The wealthy wake up asking, how do I expand the streams I've already built? The difference is massive. It's not just about money, it's about peace, options, margin, time, freedom. When your income doesn't stop when you rest, you begin to reclaim your life. You begin to breathe, to think creatively, to move intentionally. You're no longer in survival mode. You're in builder mode. You're no longer playing defense. You're choosing where to go, what to do, who to become. And this is where the shift begins, from living month to building something that lasts. Think about it. A poor person flips a product, sells a service, or trades hours to get a check. They may feel accomplished, but the income ends the moment the work ends. Now compare that to someone who built a subscription-based business, who earns royalties, who owns shares in dividend-paying companies, who automated an online system that works while they don't. That person wakes up every day with forward momentum. Their money is no longer chained to their effort. It multiplies, it compounds, it breathes without them. That's not just wealth, that's freedom. Perpetual income turns money from a moment into a movement. And the best part? It's buildable. You don't need millions to start. You just need a new mindset, one that no longer chases one-time wins, but instead focuses on planting seeds that keep producing. The wealthy are not smarter. They're not always more talented, but they think in recurring value. They build with the future in mind. They choose systems over sprints. And because of that, while others work to survive, they build to be free. So ask yourself this: do you want to keep earning money that ends, or money that never stops? Do you want to wake up every month at zero, or wake up every month already ahead? Perpetual income isn't the luxury, it's a strategy. And if you want lasting freedom, it's the only one that works. Why poor people chase events. If perpetual income is the path to freedom, why don't more people walk it? Why do so many stay stuck in the cycle of one-time earnings, always chasing the next paycheck, the next bonus, the next opportunity? The answer lies in how they've been taught to think, not just about money, but about life itself. Most people grow up in a system that celebrates events, not systems. From an early age, we're trained to chase milestones, get good grades, pass the exam, win the award, land the job, get the raise, close the deal. We're told success is about moments, those one-time, high-intensity, adrenaline-filled achievements that bring short-term satisfaction. And so, naturally, we carry that into our financial thinking. We become addicted to the high of the next financial event, the next big sale, the next freelance gig, the next short-term win. It feels productive. It feels like momentum. But in reality, it's just motion without direction, a never-ending loop of earn, spend, repeat. It's like living on a treadmill and thinking you're traveling the world. You're moving, but you're not going anywhere. And here's the trap. The event mindset is emotionally rewarding in the short term. It gives you something to celebrate, a quick hit of dopamine, a reason to feel accomplished. But just like fireworks, it fades quickly. Then you're left in the dark, searching for the next spark. Poor and middle-class people become emotionally attached to these events. They believe the solution to their financial struggles is just one big break away. If I just get that promotion, if I just land that one client, if I just win this deal. But here's the harsh truth. Even when they get that win, nothing changes, because they're still thinking in moments, not momentum. One-time wins don't build long-term wealth. They create spikes, not streams. And spikes don't last. This event-based thinking is why people stay broke, even when they earn well. It's not how much you make in a moment, it's what you build over time. Wealthy people understand this. That's why they don't celebrate just the sale. They celebrate the system that creates sales. They don't just cheer for one investment. They look for assets that produce income over and over. They're not impressed by sudden surges. They're focused on sustainable growth because they know events fade, systems endure. So why don't more people adopt this thinking? Because event-based thinking is easier in the beginning. It requires less patience, it brings faster results, but it's exhausting over the long run. You always have to start again. You never get to rest. You never feel safe. It's a life lived in sprints without ever building a marathon. And the worst part? It's glorified. Social media and society highlight the event, the car bought, the vacation taken, the deal closed. But they never show you the debt behind it, the burnout, the panic when the next event doesn't come, the anxiety of constantly living in financial reaction mode. That's why the poor chase events. Not because they're lazy, not because they're stupid, but because they've been conditioned to believe that money comes from short-term hustle, not long-term design. And until that belief is broken, they'll keep running in circles. If you want to escape the cycle, you have to reject the addiction to moments. You have to stop asking, what can I do to get paid today? And start asking, what can I build that will pay me for years? Events are exciting, but systems are empowering. One creates applause, the other creates freedom. Which one are you building? Why rich people build systems? While the poor chase events, the rich build systems. That's the fundamental difference, not just in strategy, but in mindset, in rhythm, in how they approach time, energy, and opportunity. Rich people don't wake up every day asking, how do I make money today? Instead, they ask, how do I build something today that will keep making money long after I'm gone? It's a question rooted in vision, in patience, in leverage, because they understand something most people never realize. Money is not just earned, it can be engineered. And the way you engineer money is through systems. Systems are the invisible engines of wealth. They are repeatable, reliable, and independent. They don't rely on your constant presence. They don't require you to keep pushing every hour. They run, they flow, they scale. A system could be a business, a rental property, An automated online store that pays you while you sleep, a licensing deal that keeps sending checks, a portfolio that grows with the market. But the form doesn't matter as much as the thinking behind it. Systems are how the rich separate their time from their income. It's how they stop selling hours and start owning output. Most people are workers. They complete tasks, meet deadlines, fulfill obligations. But the rich are architects. They build machines that work for them. They don't want to be the engine. They want to own the engine. They don't want to run the race. They want to own the track. And this shift doesn't happen by accident. It's intentional. It's learned. It's built one decision at a time. Think about it like this. When most people make money, they spend it. When the rich make money, they ask, how can I turn this into a system? Every dollar becomes a worker. Every product becomes a prototype. Every idea becomes a seed. They're not thinking about this week. They're thinking about 5 years from now, 10, 20. Generational systems, not temporary success. And here's the key. Systems aren't faster in the beginning. In fact, they take longer to build. They require more thought, more patience, more resistance to the urge for quick rewards. But once they're built, they give you back everything you sacrificed to create them and more. Time, freedom, control, margin, security. The poor look for payouts. The rich look for processes. One celebrates the sale. The other builds the infrastructure to make sales without them. One chases urgency. The other creates sustainability. Systems allow you to step back without everything falling apart, to take a vacation without losing income, to get sick without going broke, to age without becoming financially irrelevant. Because a well-built system doesn't care how you feel today. It doesn't rely on your mood, your energy, or your availability. It keeps running and keeps paying because you designed it to. That's why the rich invest time into thinking differently, into designing rather than just doing, into building systems that outlast them. If you want to build wealth, stop trying to earn more. Start building better. Better structures, better pipelines, better mechanisms that create value without constant supervision. Because the people who own their time are the people who first built a system to protect it. And in the long run, the only real difference between struggling and thriving is whether you're trapped inside the system or you built the system that pays you. The trap of time for money. If there's one trap that quietly consumes more dreams than any other, it's this: trading time for money. On the surface, it seems logical, fair, honest. You work an hour, you get paid for that hour. Simple, direct, measurable. But underneath, it's a cage, a beautifully decorated, socially accepted, highly praised trap. Because as long as your income depends on your time, your life will always be limited. Not by your ambition, not by your skill, not by your potential, but by the number of hours you can stay awake and stay productive. And that number is painfully small. You only get 24 hours a day. A third of that is sleep. Another third is eaten up by commuting, errands, eating, family, cleaning, breathing, existing. What's left? A few precious hours to trade for money. And even then, your energy is finite. Your focus is limited. Your health isn't guaranteed. This is the trap of time for money. You can never scale yourself. You can't clone your hours. You can't outsource your energy. You are the ceiling of your income. And eventually, your body, your mind, or your spirit will hit that ceiling hard. And here's the most dangerous part. The harder you work inside this model, the more exhausted you become, not the richer. The system rewards effort just enough to keep you going, but never enough to set you free. It gives you a raise here, a bonus there. But the core model remains the same. No work, no pay. No hours, no income. No hustle, no hope. You are trapped in a model that penalizes rest and punishes stillness. If you get sick, your income suffers. If you take a break, your finances feel it. If you try to slow down, the system speeds up and leaves you behind. That's not security. That's dependence. That's fragility disguised as structure. And this is why wealthy people avoid time for money models like a disease. Not because they're lazy, but because they understand leverage. They understand that the key to wealth is decoupling time from income, to build systems, assets, and investments that continue working even when they don't. Because they know this one hard truth. If your money stops when you stop, you are not free, you are rented. You are renting your life, hour by hour, from a system that will drop you the moment you become less useful. And here's the brutal irony. Most people work themselves to death inside a model that was never designed to let them escape. You can work 40 years in it. You can give it your prime, your energy, your soul. But at the end of it, you're still replaceable, still dependent, still exhausted. The trap doesn't end with retirement. For many, that's just when the fear begins, when the time for money model stops and there's nothing left to support you. No system, no streams, no structure, just silence. The only way out is to build what time for money never allows: ownership. Ownership of assets, ownership of cash flow, ownership of time, ownership of choices. And that starts by breaking the mindset that tells you trading time is the only honest way to earn. It's not. It's the most limited, the most fragile, the least scalable. True wealth begins the moment you stop asking how much can I earn this hour and start asking what can I build that earns while I live. The rich don't fear the loss of hours because they don't sell them. They use them to design a life where money never needs them to show up again. The power of automation and scale. Once you understand that trading time for money is a trap, a natural question follows. So how do I escape it? The answer lies in two words that the wealthy treat like gospel: automation and scale. Automation is the art of making things work without your constant involvement. Scale is the ability to grow results without growing effort. Together, they form the backbone of modern wealth because they allow you to build once and earn forever. Let's start with automation. Imagine you write an ebook and upload it to a digital platform. You set the price, connect the payment processor, and walk away. The system handles everything: delivery, payments, receipts, even customer service. You're no longer involved in each transaction. You're not emailing files. You're not talking to buyers. You're not repeating yourself. The system does the work, and you get paid. Now multiply that idea. An online store that processes orders while you sleep. An investment account that grows while you rest. A YouTube channel that pays you every month, long after the video is published. A rental property that sends income even when you're traveling. A business that runs on systems, not your sweat. That's automation. It's not laziness, it's leverage. It frees your time, it multiplies your energy, it gives you breathing room, and most importantly, it allows you to step back without everything falling apart. Now add scale. Let's say you offer a one-on-one service. You're good at it. People pay well, but there's a limit. You can only serve a handful of clients at a time. Your income is capped by your calendar. Now imagine you record your process, package your knowledge, and sell it as a course. One product, no schedule, infinite buyers. That's scale. You didn't work more, you simply multiplied your impact. Scale allows you to break the ceiling. It takes what you know, what you've built, what you can offer, and stretches it beyond your personal limits. While most people are stuck thinking, how can I do more? The wealthy ask, How can I reach more without doing more? Automation handles the repetition. Scale handles the multiplication. And together, they create exponential income, not linear effort. This is why rich people don't just work in their business, they work on it. They're not obsessed with doing everything themselves. They're obsessed with designing systems that can run, grow, and scale without them. Because they know a truth that poor people never learn. If your success depends on your constant presence, then you don't own a business, you own a job. Automation gives you freedom. Scale gives you wealth. And when both are aligned, time becomes your ally, not your limitation. This is the real unlock. Not just working harder, not just saving more, but stepping into the mindset of building machines that work for you, quietly, constantly, and predictably. And here's the best part. You don't need to be a tech genius. You don't need to be rich already. You just need to start small. One system, one process, one platform at a time. The tools are everywhere. The internet has leveled the field. You can reach the world from your bedroom if you think like a builder, not just a worker. Because in today's world, those who understand automation and scale are no longer competing with time. They've left the race entirely, and they've started owning the track.
Leverage, the rich person's secret weapon. If automation and scale are the engine of modern wealth, then leverage is the fuel that makes it roar. Leverage is what allows you to do more with less. Less time, less effort, less direct involvement, and yet somehow more results. The rich understand this better than anyone. It's why they grow faster, move smarter, expand further. It's why their success seems effortless from the outside, not because they're doing less, but because they've learned how to multiply themselves without breaking themselves. So what exactly is leverage? It's the ability to amplify your output using resources beyond just your own hands. There are 4 types of leverage the wealthy use constantly: people, money, systems, media. Let's break them down. 1. People. The poor try to do everything themselves. They think asking for help is weakness. They see outsourcing as a cost. But the rich know that other people's time is one of the greatest tools of scale. They hire specialists. They delegate tasks. They build teams. They don't try to be the smartest person in every room. They build rooms full of smarter people. Because they know if you're the only one rowing, the boat will always move slowly. But if you build a crew, you can cross oceans. 2. Money. Poor people spend money. The rich deploy it. They use capital as a tool, not a trophy. They invest in assets, in infrastructure, in people. They use money to buy freedom, not status. And most importantly, they understand this powerful rule: your money should be working harder than you do. While others hoard it or waste it, the rich put their dollars to work like employees, generating more income, more opportunity, more ownership. 3. Systems. This is where automation lives. Rich people build repeatable processes that deliver consistent results. They don't reinvent the wheel every time. They document what works. They standardize success. That way the outcome isn't dependent on mood, motivation, or memory. It's a system. It runs, and it gets better over time. 4. Media. This is the 21st century multiplier. One video can reach millions. One article can build trust while you sleep. One podcast can spark loyalty across the globe. The rich don't just post content. They strategically distribute value. They turn knowledge into products, stories into sales, influence into income. Media lets you be in 1,000 places at once without leaving your chair. Now here's the key. Leverage isn't about avoiding work. It's about amplifying smart work. It's how you turn a single idea into a movement, a single asset into a cash flow, a single hour into a lifetime of returns. The poor think, how can I do this alone? The rich ask, how can this get done without me? That's the mindset shift. From hustle to architecture, from doing more to designing better. Leverage is the reason a wealthy person can build something massive and still have time for their family, health, and peace of mind. Because they're not working harder than everyone else. They're using the tools that multiply everything they do. And the best part? Leverage is available to everyone. You can start today. Use scheduling tools, hire a freelancer, build a simple system, post something of value. The scale doesn't matter at first, only the mindset does. Because once you start thinking in terms of leverage, you'll stop asking, how can I do this? And start asking, how can this get done without me? That's not lazy, that's leadership. And it's exactly how the rich stay rich, even when they stop working.
The emotional addiction to active work. Even when people learn about leverage, automation, and systems, most still hesitate. They nod their heads, they say it makes sense, they even feel inspired. But when it's time to actually let go of constant doing, something inside resists. They feel guilty, unproductive, lazy. Why? Because somewhere deep inside, they've developed an emotional addiction to active work. They've been taught, directly or indirectly, that if you're not busy, you're not valuable. That rest is weakness. That stillness is selfish. That stepping back is quitting. They've confused exhaustion with virtue, busyness with importance, sweat with success. And this is not an accident. It's cultural. It's generational. It's systemic. We've been programmed to equate productivity with movement, to feel worthy only when we're checking boxes, to measure our days by how much we did, not how much we built. That's why when someone earns money passively, they often feel like they don't deserve it. They say things like, I didn't really do anything today, or I feel bad taking a break, there's still work to be done, even when they've already built something that's generating value. This mindset is a trap, and it's especially cruel because it punishes the very thing that leads to freedom. It convinces people to stay in motion even when the motion leads nowhere. It keeps them addicted to effort, not outcomes, to labor, not leverage. It's why many poor and middle-class people reject the idea of passive income. They don't believe it's fair. They don't trust that money can come from value built in the past. They believe if you're not working right now, you don't deserve to earn right now. But here's the truth. Passive income isn't unearned. It's pre-earned. It's the result of past decisions that were intentional, strategic, and often difficult. It's the reward for working smarter, not longer. But to accept that reward, you have to break the emotional bond you've built with struggle. You have to stop glorifying burnout, stop idolizing busyness, stop romanticizing the grind. Because working endlessly doesn't prove your worth. Building something that lasts does. You are not here to be a machine. You are here to be a creator of machines, to design systems, structures, and strategies that work even when you don't, to free your time, to preserve your energy, to live a life where peace is productive and presence is profitable. This isn't laziness. This is intelligent design. This is what the wealthy understand and what the working class resists. And unless you make peace with that resistance, unless you allow yourself to believe that you deserve income without effort, not always, but eventually, you will sabotage every system you try to build. You'll destroy the very thing meant to save you, and you'll run back to the comfort of chaos, to the illusion of movement, to the addiction of active work. Don't confuse noise with progress. Don't mistake motion for momentum. Freedom doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing the right things and letting them work without you.
From one time to lifetime, how to shift your thinking. Up until now, we've exposed the traps, the illusion of one-time income, the addiction to active work, the fragile system of trading time for money. And we've seen how the wealthy break free through systems, automation, leverage, and scale. But here's the part most people miss. Knowing this is not enough, because knowledge without transformation changes nothing. You have to shift your thinking from one-time income to lifetime income, from hustle to architecture, from reaction to creation. This shift isn't about tactics, it's about identity. It's not just what do I need to do, it's who do I need to become to build forever wealth? Because let's be honest, the person who lives paycheck to paycheck, the person who sells time to survive, the person who believes money must be earned every single day, that person cannot and will not build systems that pay for a lifetime. Why? Because those systems require patience, vision, discomfort, delay, discipline, and most of all, they require a new mental model. So here's where the shift begins. Start asking yourself 3 questions every single day. 1. What can I build today that will keep paying me tomorrow? Not what can I earn today, not what client can I chase, but what system, product, asset, or structure can I start laying down that will still reward me a month, a year, or 10 years from now? It could be a digital product, an investment, a piece of content, an email list, a brand, a rental property, a business system. The specifics don't matter yet. What matters is this shift from now money to future money. 2. How can I remove myself from the center of the process? You don't want to be the engine forever. You want to be the architect. Ask, can this task be automated? Can it be delegated? Can it be turned into a process? Can it be documented so it runs without me? This question is hard at first because we're taught that being busy equals being important. But true importance is when things keep growing even when you're not there. 3. Where am I still thinking like a worker instead of an owner? Ownership is not just about having assets. It's about having control over how money flows to you. When you think like a worker, you ask, how much will they pay me for this hour? When you think like an owner, you ask, how can I make this hour pay me for years? That's the shift. From effort-based identity to asset-based identity. From income as a moment to income as a machine. From earning once to earning forever. And yes, the shift will feel uncomfortable. It will feel slow at first, because systems take time. Assets take time. Freedom takes time. But once the foundation is in place, everything changes. One decision can echo for years. One system can free your calendar. One product can create a ripple effect that changes your entire life. That's the power of lifetime income. It's not louder, it's not flashier, but it's deeper, stronger, smarter, sustainable. So today, choose the shift. No more one-time thinking, no more chasing temporary highs. Start building for the long game. Start thinking in decades, not days, because the person who earns once will always have to start again. But the person who builds once and earns forever will never be broke again.
Case study: how one product can pay forever. Let's move from concept to reality. Let's talk about how one simple product, created once, can pay you over and over again for years, even decades. This isn't a fantasy. It's not theory. It's how real wealth is built today. Not through endless hustle, but through intelligent creation. Let's say you write a short ebook, just 30 pages on something you know. It could be fitness, finance, mindset, cooking, parenting, leadership. Anything you've learned, mastered, or struggled through. You write the content once. You format it. You upload it to a platform like Amazon Kindle. You set the price, let's say $9.99. Then you set up a sales page. You link it to your social media or a small email list. Maybe you even run a few ads for $5 a day. You do the work once, and then you wait. And here's what happens next. Day 1, a few sales. Week 1, word of mouth starts. Month 1, it's showing up in recommendations. Month 6, it's ranking in search. Month 12, you're still getting deposits from Amazon without lifting a finger. People all over the world are discovering your work, buying it, reading it, sharing it, all while you sleep, all while you move on to the next thing. One product, one decision, one investment of time, multiplied across thousands of moments. Now imagine you create another product, then another, then a course, then a subscription, then a business that grows from that content. You didn't get rich overnight. You planted a seed and you let it grow. That's what wealthy people understand. They don't think in terms of immediate payout. They think in terms of asset lifespan. They ask, how many years will this keep paying me back? How can I make this scale without more effort? How can I remove myself and let this live on its own? Because that one ebook, it's not just income, it's proof. Proof that money doesn't have to come from hours. Proof that you can separate time from value. Proof that you don't have to chase, you can build. This applies far beyond books. It could be a YouTube video that keeps getting views, a software tool that people subscribe to, a training program that companies license, a design template that people keep buying, a mobile app, a song, a print-on-demand product. The format doesn't matter. The principle is the same. Create once, earn forever. You see, the rich don't get excited about big one-time paydays. They get excited about small streams that never stop, because over time, streams become rivers, and rivers carve canyons. You don't need millions to start. You don't need a team. You don't even need a large audience. You just need the courage to build one small thing and let it work. One product, one shift, one forever income stream. Build that, and your entire financial life will start to change. Income while you sleep is not a dream, it's a strategy. You've heard the phrase before, make money while you sleep. It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? Like something reserved for tech billionaires, best-selling authors, or people who got lucky. But what if I told you it's not a fantasy, it's a formula, a replicable, strategic, intentional way of designing your life so that money comes in even when you're not around to collect it. This isn't magic, it's mechanics. And here's the truth. The wealthy don't earn while they sleep because they're lucky. They earn while they sleep because they built systems that stay awake. Think about it. The YouTuber who earns ad revenue at 3 a.m. from a video they posted 18 months ago, that's income while they sleep. The investor who receives quarterly dividends automatically without action, that's income while they sleep. The course creator who sells a digital product to someone in a different time zone while having dinner with their kids, that's income while they sleep. And the truth is, these people aren't superhuman. They just stopped thinking about income as something they had to physically collect and started thinking about income as something they could structurally design. This kind of income doesn't ask for your time. It asks for your strategy, your discipline, your willingness to do the work up front so that you don't have to keep doing it forever. It's not passive at first. It's active. It's intentional. It requires patience. But once it's built, it moves on its own. And that's when your life changes, because you're no longer stuck in the cycle of work, earn, spend, repeat. You're no longer trading hours for dollars. You're no longer waking up with anxiety, wondering how you'll make ends meet this month. Instead, you start waking up with momentum. Even before you open your eyes, your system is working. Your digital product is selling. Your video is being watched. Your stock is growing. Your rentals are paying. Your automation is running. Money is flowing. And you haven't done anything yet today. That's not luck. That's leverage. That's design. And the power of this is not just financial. It's emotional. It's spiritual. Because when money doesn't require your constant effort, you start to reconnect with your real life. You start to notice your children again. You start to feel your mornings again. You start to create from a place of peace, not panic. And ironically, that peace allows you to build even more. Because you're not running anymore, you're choosing. You're not reacting, you're creating. You're no longer surviving, you're designing your future. So don't dismiss the idea of income while you sleep. Don't laugh it off like a fantasy. Don't tell yourself it's only for them. Because every person who earns passively today once started exactly where you are now, working, hoping, learning, building. The difference? They didn't settle for the cycle. They built a system that worked even when they didn't. And now, they sleep, while their money stays wide awake. The cost of starting over every month. Every 30 days, the clock resets. No matter how hard you worked last month, no matter how many hours you gave, no matter how much stress you carried, how many sacrifices you made, or how many late nights you pushed through, on the first of the month, it all gets wiped clean. And you start over, again, and again, and again. This cycle is so common, so normalized, that we rarely question it. We just accept it. This is how life works. This is how money works. This is what being an adult means. But here's what most people don't talk about. The emotional cost of starting over every single month is devastating. It wears you down, quietly, relentlessly. At first, it's just fatigue. You're tired. You tell yourself you need rest. But then it becomes frustration. Why am I always chasing? Why does it feel like I'm moving but never getting anywhere? Then it becomes resentment. Why is everyone else getting ahead? Why do I work so hard and still feel behind? And eventually, it becomes hopelessness. You stop dreaming. You stop planning. You stop believing that things could ever be different. This is what living in a one-time income system does to you. It keeps you on the financial treadmill, always running,
never arriving. You don't build wealth, you manage exhaustion. Every month you reset. You pay the bills, you hold your breath. You try to stretch what little is left. And by the time you breathe again, the month is over. This cycle isn't just inconvenient, it's toxic to long-term growth. Because you never build momentum. You're always starting from zero, and you cannot grow anything meaningful when all your energy is spent just trying to stay afloat. You can't invest. You can't create. You can't take strategic risks because all your focus is locked on short-term survival. And that survival mindset, it leaks into everything. Your relationships, your health, your confidence, your creativity, your future. You begin to make desperate decisions. You take on clients you hate. You say yes to opportunities that drain you. You postpone your dreams over and over because now's not the right time. But here's the truth. It will never be the right time if you keep resetting to zero. Every month you spend starting over is a month you're not building something that lasts. Every moment spent hustling to catch up is a moment not used to get ahead. That's the hidden cost of one-time income. It steals your future, one exhausted month at a time. But you don't have to live like this. You can choose to build streams instead of spikes. You can design a system that remembers you, that keeps working even when you rest, that grows even when life slows you down. The first step is refuse to start over again. Plant something this month that pays you next month. Invest time into assets, not just hours. Stop chasing enough for now and start building more than enough forever. Because survival is not your purpose. You weren't born to begin again every 30 days. You were born to rise, to own, to multiply, to lead. And that life doesn't begin when you earn more. It begins when you stop resetting and start building. How to start building forever money. So now you understand the trap. You've felt the cost of starting over. You've seen how the rich build streams instead of spikes. And something inside you is stirring, that quiet voice whispering, there has to be a better way. You're right, there is. And it starts here. Forever money, income that pays you again and again from a single effort, is not built overnight, but it can be built from scratch, from nothing, from wherever you are right now. Here's how to begin. Step 1. Choose a platform, not a paycheck. Instead of looking for the next job, gig, or quick cash, choose a place where your effort will accumulate. That could be a YouTube channel, a self-publishing platform, a digital product store, a rental investment, a stock portfolio, an email list, a newsletter, a membership site. Don't just ask what pays today. Ask, where can I build something that pays me tomorrow without doing it again? Step 2. Create once, but sell endlessly. An ebook, a course, a toolkit, a song, a template, a system, even a powerful story. Make it valuable, make it helpful, make it yours. Then upload it, publish it, release it, and let it live outside your time. Step 3. Automate delivery. Use tools, use technology. Don't send files manually. Don't answer every message. Set up systems that deliver your value without you. Autoresponders, payment processors, delivery emails. Let software be your first employee. It never sleeps, never complains, and works 24/7. Step 4. Expand your reach. You don't need millions of followers. You just need one person to find your product every day. Use SEO. Use hashtags.
Use simple, honest content. Add value in forums. Answer questions online. Let the internet do what it was built to do. Connect. Step 5. Reinvent nothing, but improve everything. You don't need a genius idea. You just need to make something better, simpler, or more accessible. The world doesn't reward originality. It rewards usefulness. Take what works, make it work better, package it with care. The richest people didn't invent everything. They just made it easier to access. Step 6. Reinvest what you earn. Don't waste your first sales. Use them to upgrade your tools. Outsource your weaknesses. Buy back your time. Improve your product. Run small ads. Every dollar should go back into building the next layer of freedom. Step 7. Track what compounds, then multiply it. Once you see something working, double down. Don't chase shiny objects. Refine your system. Build version 2, then version 3. Make it smoother, simpler, faster. And then what? Add another stream. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, and suddenly you don't start from 0 anymore. You start from momentum. That's how forever money is built. Not from magic, not from luck, but from small, intentional systems stacked slowly over time. You don't need to be famous. You don't need to go viral. You don't need permission. You just need to start. Right now, right here, with whatever you know, whatever you've lived, whatever you can teach, build, solve, or show. Because the difference between those who keep resetting and those who finally break free is not talent, it's not timing, it's not who they know, it's who started building. Now it's your turn. Final shift from worker to wealth builder. You've come this far. You've walked through the illusions. You've seen the traps. You've felt the hidden cost of starting over. You've learned how the rich design systems, use leverage, automate results, and scale without burning out. But now it's time to decide, because nothing changes until you do. You can keep living like a worker, someone who earns once, resets every month, and starts over forever. Someone whose income depends on availability, whose energy determines opportunity, whose freedom is always someday, but never today. Or you can shift. You can become a wealth builder, someone who plants assets instead of chasing tasks, someone who measures income not by what they earn today, but by what they'll keep earning for years. Someone who values time so deeply they refuse to sell it cheaply. Someone who doesn't just make money, they make money-making machines. The truth is, most people stay workers because it feels safer. It's predictable. It's socially accepted. It doesn't challenge their identity. But you're here. You've listened. You've thought deeper. You've seen through the noise. And now you know. Effort alone is not enough. Hustle alone is not the path. Being busy isn't the same as building wealth. Because if your money stops when you stop, you're not free. You're not ahead. You're just exhausted with a slightly higher paycheck. But the person who builds forever income, that person owns their future. They don't panic when life happens. They don't beg for time off. They don't pray for the next gig. They rest when they need to. They create when they want to. They live with margin. They think long term. They operate from strength, not survival. So let this be your moment, the turning point, The day you stopped chasing one-time wins and started building lifetime value. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need to begin. Right now, right here, with the belief that you can be more than a worker. You can be a builder, a creator, an architect of income that outlives your effort. And no, it won't be instant, but it will be worth it. Because 1 year from now, you'll either still be stuck in the same cycle, or you'll have built something that never starts from zero again. Choose that future. Choose forever income. Choose the mindset of the wealthy. This is the final shift from worker to wealth builder.